Hi, this is Larry London. It's the Voice of America, and it's not often we have a person of the stature and the legend of the gentleman who's sitting across from me in our studios. What an honor it is to welcome to Washington and to the Voice of America, Dr. Quincy Jones.
Fish on. To
our Chinese audience. Now, I was looking at some of the history, and you have quite a wealth of history in your career and also in your personal life. But, 1951, you were offered a scholarship, and you turned it down to play trumpet in a band.
I took it for about 6 months at Berkeley School of Music. It was Schiller's house then. And I took it because Hamp had asked me to join the band when I was 15 in Seattle. And I got on the band bus. I didn't even go home to ask. I just stayed on the bus like a rabbit. And it was time to go. All the band gets on, and Gladys Hampton said, "Hamp, what's that child doing on the bus? Come here, Sonny." Said, get off here. You're going back to school. We'll talk to you later. I was so hurt. And then after I got my scholarship to Boston, they called me, and I stayed with the band 3 years.
And Quincy Jones was given a doctorate from Harvard, and then not to be outdone, Princeton gave you a doctorate as well. So now you're a doctor many times over. 24 times. 24 times.
Where were they when I needed education? No, I appreciate it.
Well, what an illustrious career. I'm just in awe of everything you've done and every life you've touched. And I'm just, looking at the latest count, because I'm sure there will be more, but at the latest count, 79 Grammy nominations, which is more than anybody has ever had in the history of Grammys. So you are Mr. Music. You are Dr. Music. You are it when it comes to music.
I can't even drive a car.
I was going to ask you about that, too.
No.
Is that you never learned how to drive a car?
No.
Why didn't, what?
I don't know. I was in a terrible accident when I was 14. I was in the back seat. All my friends got killed, and 3 people on a bus that hit us. I was about 14, and I should have had it fixed then, but I never did. And so it was always a kind of a fear.
Well, of all the Grammys that you've won, 27 Grammys, is any one of them more special than another?
I think they're all special, But, well, I must say that the one for Album of the Year was pretty special, for Back on the Block. It was in 1990.
And you have, throughout your career, you've discovered many artists and made many careers, Leslie Gore and so many other people who owe you a tremendous debt of gratitude. And you've chronicled all this in your book, too. By the way, let's talk about this book here. The book is called The Complete Quincy Jones. Now, your first book, an autobiography called Q, came out in 2001. So what made you decide to publish a second book?
Well, some people approached me, and they had a different idea. You always have to be drug into doing a book because it's hard work. It is... The first book was Swifty Lazar, who I used to hang out with him, which was with Sinatra all the time as a friend. He says, "You don't even know what I do." He says, "I'm the best agent, the literary agent in the business." And he was, and he got into one thing. I said, "Oh, we don't have to finish," and everything. I tried to get out of it, and I ended up doing the book. And this one they had another kind of idea, more of a photographic scrapbook with 3D kinds of things in it. And I said, why not? We're going to do 3 more,
Really?
Yeah. Because, I guess you get old, you forget. And, you have to just kind of, it's nice to kind of chronicle it for your kids. I got a lot of kids and everything else to chronicle it because I can never sit down and explain all this stuff to my kids,
Now, there are pictures in here. Most people are lucky to meet a celebrity once in their lifetime, and with you, the list goes on and on. Sidney Poitier's in here, Oprah Winfrey's in here, Frank Sinatra, anybody in music you've been with, you've worked with, you could call their friends. Like
Clint. I met Clint Eastwood when I was 15 years old. His family just moved up from Oakland, and they worked at Boeing, and he came to the Trianon Ballroom every night. It's the same thing as us, girls and jazz.
Now, how many, it's been, 6, 7 decades now that you've been doing this music? 6 decades.
Yeah.
More
than 6, a little more than 6, yeah.
Does it feel like 6 decades to you, or do you sit and think,
absolutely not. When I look back there, it looks like it. But I'm under the care of 14 Nobel doctors in Karolinska in Stockholm now. They're like my friends and family. They're jazz musicians, and they come back to the Karolinska Hospital every year. 14 of them come back for 6 days, and they look at me like a laser beam, and they tell me everything, just what's going on. And they say, if you listen to us, the combination of nanotechnology, which is carbon and hydrogen atoms, and the color-coded genome breakthrough now, which they're breaking down into proteins and genes, we can keep you here till 110. And don't make up your mind till 109. Now, don't say, I don't want to live that long. Wait till 109. And I believe them. I really do, because when they said 3 words to me when I walked into that place, it's a place you can't buy your way into, you know. They said, you must understand we are all self-contained emotional machines. And that cleared up so many things. Your thoughts, you become your thoughts. You really do. And they do the ultrasound on your heart. It comes through on television. Mine look like Iraq. And those are 2 things you can't really change anything in it. There's nothing to do. And it literally looked like Iraq. I said, God, it looks like a plutonium mine in there. And then they put another little wire do-rag on your head and ask you to just relax for 20 minutes to check out if there's atrophy or anything. I had 2 brain operations in the 70s. And they were shocked because they said I had a 22-year-old heart and a 22-year-old mind. And we could, if they're okay, we can fix the rest. And that was very comforting. And I feel 25 years old. I really do.
That's great. That's fantastic. You look great.
Incredible feeling.
You do look great.
Thank you.
And I know you keep so busy. I mean, I'm sure that's contributing to keeping you young. But you know,
a lot of kids too.
Well, you got a few kids. You got to keep
15 to 55.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's good. It's quite an array.
Yeah, it's really good.
Quite a collection of class reunions.
And 6 daughters, so 15. So that took my afro away. Daughters will do that. Beautiful daughters, you know.
Now, I get a lot of email from our audience around the world who knows Quincy Jones quite well. In fact, you know VOA very well. You've been here many times before and visited different programs
all the way back
throughout the network on our Turkish service and also Willis Conover days. And you're a good friend to the Voice of America. And people want to know, the question I'm sure you get asked most often is Michael Jackson, who's working on a new album. And, why aren't you working with Michael Jackson on this album?
Because I'm doing 9 movies and 3 albums, and I've got a foundation. I've got so many things going on. Mm-hmm. We're doing the 19th of February, we're doing the IMAX film with Barry Sonnenfeld directing for Favelas. I saw them begin. I go to the carnival every year for 52 years. And Vinicius de Moraes was like the poet laureate down there, like Stevie Wonder. In 56 said to me, Quincy, one day these favelas will be the scourge of Brazil. At that time there were 3,000 kids with no families. Now there's 600,000. And they have them in Sao Paulo, the same thing. They have problems because I went this year and took Keith Black, the neurosurgeon, with me. And we went to hear the girls perform in the favelas. They're my friends, Then the Afro reggae groups perform. They come out, they're cleaning the AK-47s, And I go to Salvador in Bahia, and there's Carlinhos Brown, who's done it the right way. And he said, let's trade drums for guns. So they have no violence problems and no dope, none of that stuff. It's amazing. And so we're trying to get the fellows so that they're not in jeopardy. They're beautiful people. Every year we go in there and the girls perform very graciously, then the Afro reggae guys do, and they come out and they're cleaning AK-47s, as I said before.
And I understand that there's work on a tribute album for you as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And Amy Winehouse is participating?
Absolutely.
What else can you tell us about the album?
Oh, my God. We've got all the guys there, all my dogs, Snoop Dogg. Usher was just in the studio that day for 9 hours, and Jermaine Dupri and Will I Am and all the guys, man. It's just fantastic. Timbaland, Akon, Jamie Foxx is on there, Alicia Keys. It's very exciting.
And when
But
do
see,
you-
all my friends anyway, you know.